So in terms of this video, I'm going to be breaking down the overall market, and I'm also going to be explaining to you on why I decided to swing trade SPY call options 565 strike that expires next Friday, and the reasoning from a technical view on why I think we can potentially have a strong bullish week heading into next week. So first things first, in terms of the overall game plan, I made it very, very clear that the SPY was going to be on pace to have a strong bullish close. Unfortunately, the oversold levels did not hit on call options, but in terms of this level right here, 556 did end up reacting as a support level for several hours in the pre-market, and there was a green, red, green, green, red, green bullish pattern to be buying call options at that higher level. So for those of you who were self-sufficient and took that opportunity, congratulations, because it was very, very clear if 556 reacts as support, we're going to be heading into the 561s. In terms of the levels to buy put options, I did make it clear that 559 to 560. And for those of you who've been watching the videos, I mentioned this level several times. 563 would be one of the best levels, which is where the exact highs of day were. So if you use the game plan with the curriculum at the levels, you should have had a phenomenal green day where you could have potentially made money trading both ways on calls and puts. And we did end up having this strong bullish closing trend day as stated. Now, with that being said, this is what I want you to understand, man. So for those of you who reacted accordingly at the levels and applied the curriculum, you should have had a phenomenal green day, man. 563 was literally one of the best levels for puts. It made this red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, red, green, red pattern, sold off. If you're applying the curriculum with a 30-minute chart, you should be printing money at the speed of light. Now, this is what I want to address in terms of the overall swing trade. So in terms of swing trading, this is something that I'll typically do once or twice a month. Now, what I dislike about swing trading is it's typically not going to give you the highest risk to reward ratio, and the contracts are typically priced higher, right? One of the upsides is you don't have to monitor the trade as much, but still, man, in terms of swing trading, I mainly focus on day trading. That's my number one focus. On swing trading once or twice a month. If you do decide to take a swing trade, make sure that the most you put in is what you're comfortable of losing. Do not risk much, especially on swing trades that are offering lower risk to reward ratios, right? So I just want to bring some awareness to that. The main point of this overall video is just to explain to you on why I'm overall bullish on the SPY. If you do decide to swing trade, do not risk what you can't afford to lose, right? And you should be sizing in lighter if you are considering the swing trade, because like I said, the risk to reward ratio on this play isn't going to be 100% the best, but it does have some nice upside potential. Now, let's get into it, man. So in terms of the SPY, we've obviously been due for some sort of bounce, right? Literally flushing straight down for the most part from 613 all the way down to 550. So in terms of reversals, SPY tends to reverse at nice keyhole round numbers, right? So when it hits 600, it could potentially start to sell off. 550, nice keyhole round number, could potentially have a short-term reversal. 500, nice keyhole round number, could potentially have a short-term reversal, right, if it's falling. So we are at a nice whole round number. And as you can see right here, this 550 is key. This is previous resistance at 550. Resistance, resistance, resistance. When it reacts as a resistance, it quickly drops to the 540 to mid 530s. When it reacts as support, it quickly explodes up into the 500, the mid 560s to lower 570 overall range. Once it goes above lower 570s, then it really starts to take off into that low 580 range, right? So the point is, we've been reacting as a support level at this previous resistance right here, which was towards 550, where I literally told you to buy call options, said it was the best level possible, the best zone possible to be buying call options at 550, the exact lows we crushed on that yesterday, right? So as you can see, this was reacting as a resistance for like 4 days, and it was dropping to 540, right? Well, it's been reacting as a strong support level. That 550 range has been reacting for strong support for literally 5 days in a row. We've been forming support. We finally have the first green bullish daily candlestick confirmation, right? In terms of last night's game plan, one of the reasonings on why I believed it was going to be a strong bullish closing trend day is because looking at the overall daily chart pattern, I was seeing lots of similarities where SPY crunches up like this. It tends to have a strong bullish green trend day. In terms of overall patterns that I'm seeing, man, if you look at this pattern right here, see how it's downtrending, then you have the first big green day right here. See how it's downtrending, then you have the first big green day right here. See how it's kind of just forming, you can say like this triangle right here, like this triangle right here, right? Like this, inverse, you could say like a U right here, triangle here, and then it has the first green day, and then it starts to have a really bullish move to the upside, right? I'm seeing just so many comparisons, with these rectangles that I've highlighted out right here, right here, right here, that is stating that we were supposed to have that strong bullish green trend day, looking at these patterns that I'm showing you. And now it's stating that the next week could be very bullish, very bullish, very bullish, right? Especially if we gap up, man. So one trade idea I have for you as well is, man, if we gap up on Monday, is going to be buying call options, man. If we gap up, going to be focused on buying call options towards the upper break and retest levels. I'll give you that update on Sunday with the new levels and new game plan. But man, based off of this overall chart, man, is looking fairly bullish, where in terms of Monday, calls slightly under the previous closing price, or if we're gapping up, calls towards, higher break and retest levels, we're potentially setting up for an overall bullish trend week, right? So those are the patterns. These are the ideas that I have for you. If you just look at what I highlighted out, and then you compare it to, the past overall 4 to 5 days, very, very similar. We finally have this strong bullish green overall candlestick, right? I mean, if we can just break, once we could start to really push above 565 to 570, that's when we're going to see those strong moves. But I'm telling you, the SPY is due for that overall reversal. We're extremely oversold. And another upside is, we have all this consolidation, all of this strong support, and now a green bullish daily candlestick at this overall key level. So another bullish confirmation is, as we're beginning to reverse and hold support, the SPY is just really due to close these gaps, man. We have so many gaps that are waiting to fill above. The first one being towards this 576, man. We have a gap to fill above at 576. So from a technical view, those are the reasonings on why I'm going to be swing trading SPY call options. I think in terms of the perfect expiration date, it would be next Friday on March 21st. In terms of what I feel comfortable with, I got in towards the mid 400 price on these contracts. This is what I feel comfortable going with. The 565 strike, right? So basically 3 points out of the money on this particular play. If you like, if you do want to take it, you can go with a little bit further out of the money, like a 568 or 570 if you like. But in terms of what I feel comfortable with, I feel comfortable with the 565 strike that expires on Friday. Some members inside of Team Roar did decide to go with 570. So I just wanted to bring some awareness to that. And I just want to be very, very clear in terms of swing trading. Like I said, man, they don't typically offer the highest risk to reward ratios, and the contracts tend to be a little bit higher, and they're just not as ideal. I focus on day trading, right? Typically on swing trading, I'll make 1 to 2 per month, and whatever I put into this overall trade, it's not going to be affecting my overall day trading profits as a whole, as a collective, right? So I just want to bring some awareness to that. I'm not encouraging you in terms of this situation to just buy and swing trade calls. That's not the purpose of this video. I'm simply explaining to you some reasoning from a technical view on why we could potentially be bullish heading into next week. If you do decide, to use this information to your advantage, or if you do decide, along with the information that you have, your experience of trading, your reasoning behind taking a swing trade, if you want to apply what it is that I showed you with, your experience, confirmation, and, whether you're looking into news and stuff like that to swing trade, that's completely fine, man. Just understand in terms of the risk, you should not be risking a lot of money on this overall swing trade. Like I said, man, in terms of taking bigger risk, I take the bigger risk mainly on the day trades, and that's my number one focus as of right now, and has always been on the day trading situation. But if I see a good swing trade, I'll take it. Like I said, I literally just ended up swing trading Trump coin at 10.55, and it quickly went to 12.55 within a couple hours, ended up scalping that for 11%. Literally all this year, I'm just going to keep on swing trading Trump when it hits key levels, because I'm telling you, in terms of Trump coin, there's a lot of money to be made on that. If you know where to enter with a decent size, you can quickly make like 10 to 30% gains on that, just rinsed and repeat. Because I'm telling you, when Trump hits these key support levels, it's just going to keep on having these temporary bounces and reversals, even if it goes lower in the near future. And then eventually it's just going to have this crazy pump, crazy run. If you know how to analyze overall Trump coin, you're going to see that it's going to be a good swing trading opportunity many times throughout this year at key oversold levels, especially levels that have not been tested. Just want to bring some awareness to that, right? So there is swing trading strategies, and this is going to be overall one of them. So like I said, previous resistance right here, massive breakout, drop back down, retest, reacting as support, 5 days of consolidation, the first green daily candlestick, big upside potential. As it's reversing at the support, gaps are waiting to fill above towards 576. And in terms of the overall pattern, if you compare these patterns that I've highlighted right here, highlighted right here, once the SPY has that big green trend day, it tends to keep on pushing higher into next week, keep on pushing higher into the next week, keep on pushing higher into the next week. So that is the reasoning behind swing trading calls, and that is the reasoning in terms of right now I'm bullish on SPY from a technical view. With that being said, man, I'm going to be signing off and heading back to my secure private organization. For those of you who use the game plan, right? So in terms of the game plan, you could see 556. If it reacts to support, we're going to be going into the 560 range, right? Did it react to support? Well, you could see right here, we had a break above resistance. It was reacting as a resistance right here. And then we had a break above the resistance. Then we had a retest. Then we had a green, red, green. So the break, the retest, the green, red, green pattern is all bullish. Therefore, you could have been buying call options. And then what were the higher levels for puts? The higher levels for puts were towards 560 to 559. We had a very nice drop right here from 560 all the way down to 556 for another break and retest opportunities for calls, right? This candlestick right here is a trend reversal candlestick is right here with the break and retest. Opportunity for puts, opportunity for calls. Opportunity for puts at the best level for puts, which is what I told you, 563 to 566, 567. Red, green, red, literally at 563. Market's also topping right here towards 563. It's going to try to close strong, right? Point being is, you should have absolutely crushed it on the day. Using my simple levels in the curriculum, you should have had a phenomenal green day. And I made it very, very clear in terms of last night's video that it's going to be a strong, bullish closing trend day. So the SPY is likely going to literally be closing at the highs of days. With that being said, I'm going to be heading back to my secure private organization.